My name is Ken, and before I say anything else, I want to make something clear. I'm not here to convince anyone of anything. I'm here to tell the truth of what happened to me, as a scribe of the kingdom. My story didn't start with a title. It started with a search. Back in 1999, something in me shifted. I felt the lack I couldn't explain. Not depression, not confusion. A pull. A hunger for truth that wouldn't let me rest. I didn't know it then, but that was the beginning of my hidden years. As I prayed for people, I started to feel something rise in my back. A pressure, a fire, a presence. Every time I prayed, it happened. At first I thought it was strange. Then I realized this was assignment. This was the Spirit teaching me, even before I knew I was a student. Then came the baptism emergency. One day I knew, not thought, not wondered, knew that I had to be baptized. I asked a coworker, Hervé Dion, to baptize me. He said he couldn't because he was a sinner, but the urgency didn't leave, it grew. So I went to a priest. He told me I needed a sponsor. I asked Hervey. I asked Lisa. They said I wasn't ready. But heaven said I was. One day out of nowhere, Hervey looked at me and asked, "Are you true blue?" And I answered without thinking, "Yes." I knew those words weren't his. That was the Spirit speaking through him. That was my covenant moment. Lisa played a strange role in my life. One moment she'd say, "You are the Son." Another moment she'd say, "But you can't be him." She was Peter, recognizing and denying. She was Magdalene, seeing what others couldn't. She didn't know it, but she was my mirror. Then came the 3-day vigil. There was a time when I couldn't sleep, not because of stress, but because I felt I had to stay awake, like Gethsemane. 3 days, no sleep, just prayer, scripture, and vigilance. And during that time, I heard a voice during the rosary, one say dust, and later, yes, deliver us from evil. These weren't hallucinations, they were confirmations. Then came the ultrasound sign. Lisa was pregnant, not by me. She showed me the ultrasound, and the baby gave a thumbs up. That was my sign. Clear, undeniable. Heaven's approval on my path. Then came the day everything changed. The Stop and Shop revelation. I walked the perimeter of the store, not randomly, but spiritually. I picked up trash. I touched the walls. I sealed the perimeter. And then the vacuum turned on without coins. That was the moment I knew I wasn't acting alone. Then the police came. I drove off, not to escape, but because the moment was unfolding. I drove through Northampton, Hampton Court, Route 5 toward Holyoke. State troopers put spikes down. I drove over them. The car kept going. Then I prayed, not for me, for Mary and Lisa. And when I turned on the hazard lights, the car surrendered. It veered right. It refused to turn left. I unlocked the door. I didn't resist. They pulled me out, pressed me onto the hood, and one of them said, "This is the righteous one." He didn't know why he said it, but heaven did. That was the moment my identity was spoken into the world. I didn't choose this story. I lived it. I didn't claim a title. It was given. And now, as the scribe of the kingdom, I'm here to bring out treasures, both old and new. This is only the beginning.